Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, you see the featured promo right here, the featured thumbnail. You see right here on the screen. You see Grayson Waller airing off his grievances. He did his version of a mic drop, a shoot promo. Grayson Waller coming out the gate, calling everyone out, including the NXT male superstars, calling them soft, that they're not ready for the main roster, that the women are more ready than they are. And talked about everybody, TNA and everybody else. Talking about everybody's dropping the ball and didn't know his potential. We'll get to that. Plus, on your right, you see Cruz Montana comes in NXT trying to make a hitch, accidentally hit on Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo target, the NXT champion, being in the middle of Grayson Waller, who's coming back to being a troublemaker. We get the Pro Wrestling Show started with the NXT Ring Report right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us on the Pro Wrestling Show on Connect TV. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling. Get on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is Karen. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, we're here for the NXT Ring Report. And like I said, can we show that one more time, man? Grayson Waller kicked out the gate right here, showing what he was mentioning, what he was all about. Grayson Waller came out of nowhere, kicking off NXT. He did tonight. Grayson Waller came out there to air all his grievances and did so, calling out the NXT roster, calling out the male roster especially, saying they're soft, that no one's not ready, saying that everyone's not capable of their potential like he was. He said everybody that he called out champion Tony D'Angelo, saying that Tony D'Angelo is a big fish with a small pond and really don't have no one in challengers coming after him. And everybody went off on him. Grayson Waller even went off, calling everybody from the back, saying the women's roster on NXT is more prime and ready than ever before, and which that led everyone ire. Grayson Waller coming back with a vengeance, and coming back with vengeance, all right, shooting on NXT. Even to the point that he talked about his potential, saying he went to the main roster and got disappointed. I think he's like an ex-employee. Well, he's a current employee with he's disgruntled about a lot of things, and he let it be known that he wasn't feeling it and he wasn't having it. And he kind of called out Shawn Michaels, everybody from the top brass. And Grayson Waller wanted to get his minutes of fame. And he did. He shoot everybody. And Grayson Waller left, and the show went black. Yes, thus telling Grayson Waller to get off the show. And Grayson Waller did. But we'll get a little bit more on Grayson Waller coming up. Well, it looks like Izzy Dane came out there. I forgot that dude named Nico or something. Nico, I'll call him that. Izzy Dane came out there, ready for a match against Lizzie Rain coming out there, and Lizzie Rain was ready for her match, like a 80s rock and roller, like both women. You see Izzy Rain losing a reverse chin lock, trying to apply the reverse chin lock on her, but it was the distraction from Shawn Spears that helped Izzy Rain get the victory. Izzy Rain gets the victory over Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame and Nico are not too happy about that. You can tell right there. So you saw that, how that went down. Looks like Keno Carter and that girl from the Vandy Project. She's looking at Keno. I think this is gonna be some Chyna and Mark Henry situation. You remember Chyna and Mark Henry? Chyna wasn't interested in Mark Henry. She beat up Mark Henry, but then she kind of felt in love with Mark Henry. I think Chyna was guess bowling and grown. I think he'll pack her down. Look at her. Look like she wants some meat. You gotta tell you that right now. She wants some meat real bad. And he looked at Jackson Drake saying, "Is you ready to go?" Jackson, she trying to fill him out. That's what she's trying to do. Speaking of that, Lola Vice, the sexy soror and Lola Vice, getting ready for her championship match. Lola Vice airing a vignette that she'll be ready. And Lola Vice saying that she's been in the underground numerous times against numerous opponents. And she's saying that champion Kendall Gray is not ready for the underground. We know next week Kendall Gray defends the NXT women's title against Lola Vice in NXT Underground. Lola Vice hasn't lost in no NXT Underground match. I remember the first time I said when Lola Vice went against Shayna Baszler, I was like, I don't see Shayna Baszler. I really don't see Shayna Baszler losing this match. Shayna Baszler, I guess, did the favors and stuff. So this will start Lola Vice to get to where she is now. We're hearing a lot of reports and rumors that Lola Vice may be heading to SmackDown, going to the main roster to join her boyfriend Damian Priest. So we're hearing those reports that this might be Lola's swan song on NXT. She might get called up to the main roster when she goes against Kendall Gray. So we'll see how that's gonna go. But speaking of that, Cam Hendricks coming out there for an opportunity of a lifetime. Cam Hendricks going against the North American champion Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne coming out there looking for the So you see Miles Bourne, the North American champion, defending this title, and you said Miles Bourne looks like he was on deck. Tell right here. Both man, hard in matchup between both Miles Bourne and and Cam Henry. Cam Henry was trying to pull out all the stops to win, even to the stops that Miles Bourne delivered his finishing maneuver to get the 1, 2, 3. Miles Bourne couldn't get the job done. Miles Bourne victorious over Cam Hendricks. Cam Hendricks didn't have a chance. Even there was interference from Tavion Heights and Mason Rook. Mason Rook came out there and wanted some of Cam Hendricks and did get some of Cam Hendricks. Cam Hendricks even got attacked from Mason Rook, and Mason Rook going at the Cam Hendricks, and they was fighting each other, and that led to the Vanity Project coming out of nowhere to attack Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights, and doing what he did. So the Vanity Project will defend the tag team championships against Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights. So you'll see that match coming up as well. So a lot of scores will be settled with that. Also, too, looks like we're probably Winston Sinclair might get a shot against Zarya for the North American Championship. Both women are champions. Ren, the Speed champion, and Zarya, the women's North American champion. So we could see them. Could see that play out eventually. So we saw that too. As Birthright, we won their match tonight. Birthright. So we saw that. So we saw that right there. Also, too, looks like Braun Noka might have to make a decision because he's with both stars at AAA, but he's with Lucian Price in NXT, so he's gonna have to really make a decision. And we'll see what's going on with that. But torn between the two, always. But speaking of that, Kendall Gray, the NXT Women's Champion, Kendall Gray, getting herself together. Kendall Gray, she ain't gonna be afraid and scared that she's ready. So we saw that as well. So we see Kendall Gray will defend the NXT Women's title against Lola Vice. That's going to be a given. We'll see how that's going to play out eventually. Kendall Gray and Lola Vice, these two women, how this match is going to go for NXT Underground. It's going to be really a match that's going to be settled. Speaking of that, we see Izzy Dane might be having a rivalry with Cloud Armstrong. Everybody's gunning for jockeying for a spot, and I think maybe Grayson Waller was right. The NXT women might be prepared than ever. I'm enjoying all of them. Where we go with this? Shallow Hill goes one-on-one against Tristan Angels. This is their recent match since the Great American Bash, when both men were trying to do competitions that really didn't make no sense, but it just went from there. You can tell right here, Tristan Angels taking it to Shallow Hill outside the ring. Shallow wasn't ready as well. But get this right here. Shallow Hill taking Tristan Angel already down to the mat. Tristan Angel down to the announce table. Shallow Hill kind of snapped. Went snap, crackle, and pop like a Rice Krispie treat. It did so as well, but Shallow taking it to Tristan Angels. Shallow Hill getting the victory over Tristan, as Tristan Angels kind of realizing the pain was that through and stuff. Where we go with this right here. Cruz Montana makes his appearance, formerly known as Mike Santana. Cruz came out there with the fanfare like he did. Cruz came out there ready. Cruz was ready. Cruz came out there and saying that he's ready to become a champion. He talked about his time in TNA, and Cruz said it's a new start, a new beginning, a new chapter. Cruz, I'm still gonna call it Mike Santana. Mike Santana came out there, and Mike Santana delivered his note, put Tony Angelo on notice that he's coming for the NXT Championship. Mike Santana saying that he wants to do what he needs to do to one day become an NXT champion. He's gonna do it the right way. Until the disturber came in, the agitator who came in earlier. Grayson Waller came out there and tried to cause a rift between everybody. And Grayson Waller. So we saw Grayson Waller come out there to interrupt everything. Even it was a physical altercation. Grayson was attacking Cruz. Cruz accidentally, Mike Santana, I meant to say, accidentally hit the clothesline onto Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo didn't take so kindly of that clothesline, leading both men kind of having tensions right there, along with Grayson Waller laughing about it, that he thought was funny. Grayson Waller, man in the middle, trying to keep everybody at bay. I can tell you that now. And keep everybody divided. So we'll see. All right. That's going to do it for the the NXT ring report, I meant to say. You saw that right here. The NXT ring report, this right here tells you the whole story. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT ring report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, and we'll see you later.